Everybody, it's Monica with Fit Eats Coach, and today I am back with some simple exercises that you can do with a foam roller. Notice how I said not rolling on a foam roller, so there's going to be no rolling involved. And the best of all, these exercises are super effective for relieving shoulder pain, neck pain, jaw pain, low back pain, hip pain, even knee and ankle stuff that you may have going on. So it's best to use a full foam roller. It's only going to take 8 minutes. And if you have a half foam roller, it can still work. You just have to be a little bit more careful about how you position yourself on there. So let's get started. So the first exercise we're going to do is a rotational windmill. So you're taking that foam roller and holding it from the ends, and you're rotating that foam roller around the upper body and head. Notice that I'm standing with my feet about the width of the yoga mat. Knees are slightly bent, abdominals are slightly pulled in, and I'm trying to keep a very straight torso, but at the same time being really loose with my upper body, so not trying to do this in a very stiff way. And you're just going to do about 8 repetitions on each side to open up that thoracic area, get those shoulders and head back into alignment with the spine. Once you do your 8 repetitions, you're going to bring your foam roller down to the floor, and you're going to place your hands on top of one end. Then you're going to walk your feet back until your back is nice and flat like a table. And you're going to start bending and straightening the legs, and you can add some toe raises here. As you come out of that bent leg position, all you do is just rock back into the heels and then lift the ball of one or both feet. Notice how I'm keeping my head aligned with my spine. I'm not allowing it to drop too far down between the arms. Again, 8 repetitions is all you need to do, and then you're going to intensify this by switching to the single leg version. So bring your legs into a pyramid position. Toes are pointing forward, back is nice and flat, but this time you're resting your forearms right on that foam roller. And again, you're just doing those toe raises, trying to get length through that entire posterior chain from your calf up into your hamstring, glutes, and low back. So once you do 8 repetitions, you're going to take the foam roller across and place it down on your mat. And we're going to do those knee bends again, but obviously now you're in a forward fold, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging. If this is a little too deep for you, you can always use a chair instead of the foam roller. So you're going to just bring those knees in towards your elbows, keeping your arms nice and straight, your back is nice and straight, and again, head is aligned with your spine. And we're just trying to get length through that entire back side of the body. The really great thing about this exercise is that it is very similar to a down dog, which is very beneficial, but it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. So once you do that, you're going to come into a deep lunge position with that foam roller right behind your heel. Your hands are resting on top of there, and you're going to start scooting that back knee as far back as you can until you are in a very long lunge position. Front knee is aligned right over your heel, and then bring your outer arm inside right by your inner thigh. And we're going to start doing a little bit of quad stretching here. You're just trying to kick that heel up into your backside. This does take a little bit of work, squeezing in those hamstrings, keeping that back nice and straight. And obviously, if you can't do that, you can just hold that long lunge position and then come up into a slightly higher low lunge. Hold for a few seconds, and then start rolling that foam roller to the back knee as you dig your front heel in and straighten your front leg. Right here, we're going to do a few mini push-ups, just trying to get that rib cage down into the thigh a little bit. Now again, notice how I'm keeping my head aligned with my spine. I'm not trying to touch my nose to my knee or to my shin. I'm just keeping a very straight back and focusing on lengthening through the calf and the hamstring. It helps a little to keep your abs tucked in slightly. Now from here, you're going to come back into your deep lunge. You're going to roll that foam roller towards your back leg, and we're going to do shoulder blade squeezes to open up the chest and shoulders a little bit more. And if possible, you can drop that head back, but that's not necessary for this. So if you don't feel comfortable with that part of the exercise, you can just leave your head nice and straight. From here, just come back into your runner's stance. Place your foam roller right by your hip. Lean your arm into there. And then you're just going to do a bit of a side bend. So reaching your opposite arm up towards the ceiling. Imagine that you're trying to reach for a cloud that's up there in the sky, and then you're going to switch to the other side. So all this stuff may take you a little bit longer the first time you do this, but once you get into the habit of doing this on a regular basis, you should be able to go through this whole routine in about 7 to 8 minutes. So again, we're in that deep lunge, and we're going to start with our butt kicks. You don't have to kick that high, and you don't have to kick at all again if that's not possible for you. Just holding that lunge sometimes is enough for some people. Raise up into a slightly higher low lunge and hold for a few seconds, really lengthening through that hip flexor, making sure that back leg is nice and straight and your front knee is aligned over your heel. Now start rolling that foam roller to the back leg as you dig that front heel into your mat, and then add your little push-ups, trying to get that rib cage closer to your front thigh, keeping that head aligned with the spine, so no dropping of the head forward, no need to do that. And then once you're done, you're going to come back into your deep lunge, and we're going to do our shoulder blade squeezes. So roll that foam roller as far back as you can into that back thigh, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up that chest, and if possible, drop the head back. Most of us don't get enough stretching through the neck, and we spend so much time looking down at our devices, and this is really painful for a lot of people. It causes migraines, jaw pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. So we're undoing all of these things in addition to undoing a lot of stuff that happens in the workout. So once you've done with that, come back into your runner's stance. Place your forearm on top of that foam roller and then do a little side bend. Notice how like minuscule this side bend is. It's really not very deep. It's really more about reaching all the way up to the ceiling and then adding a slight bend at the top. Now we're going to finish up with one of my favorite exercises for correcting all kinds of posture issues. You're going to cradle your head in your hands, making sure that your elbows are open out to the sides and you're not pulling your head forward. Lay your upper back on the foam roller, and you're going to zigzag the legs and then dive back as far as you feel comfortable. Some people can reach their head all the way to the floor, and some people can barely reach their head even back a few inches. So just work within the range that is right for you. Notice how my feet are the width of the mat, maybe even wider, so that you have room for those knees to zigzag across. So we're doing bent leg wipers, I like to call them, one to each side, and then dive back into that little mini back bend. Now notice how I'm keeping my mid back on top of that foam roller, so the tips of my shoulder blades are right on top, and I'm trying my best to keep my butt down on that mat. So if you have really tight hips and back, your butt will try to get off of that mat to kind of help with the exercise. So try your hardest not to allow that to happen. Anyways, I hope that all this has been helpful. I will be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your fittest, healthiest body. Thanks for watching.